Hi students, myself Mohammad Nader. Welcome to the new session of Power Electronics. In this session, we will have a discussion on the topic three-phase semi-converters with RLE load. This dotted part consisting of thyristors and diodes is our three-phase semi-converter, which is connected to the output of a three-phase delta star transformer. The delta star transformer is not shown in this figure. So the output from the delta star transformer phase A, phase B, phase C is connected to my three-phase semi-converter consisting of thyristors and diodes, and an RLE load is connected to my semi-converter, and a freewheeling diode FD is connected across my RLE, and the voltage across my RLE load is V0, and current through the RLE load is denoted as I0. We have already discussed three-phase full converters. What is the basic difference between a three-phase full converter and three-phase semi-converter? For three-phase full converter circuit, it has two group of thyristors, positive group of thyristors and a negative group of thyristors, in which the cathodes of the thyristors in the positive group are short circuited and the anodes were connected to three phases. So during the positive half cycle of each phases, the thyristor corresponding to that phase will be under forward blocking mode, because the anode will be more positive when compared to cathode. So for example, when the positive half cycle of phase A is there, T1 will be under forward blocking mode because anode is more positive compared to cathode. Similarly, during negative half cycle of each phase, the thyristor corresponding to that phase will be under reverse blocking mode, because for example, during negative half cycle of phase A, the anode of T1 will be negative when compared to cathode, so T1 will be under reverse blocking mode. So my T1, T2, T3 or positive group of thyristors are eligible to conduct, or they will be in forward blocking mode only during the positive half cycle of the phases, so they are called a positive group of thyristors. Similarly, in the negative group of thyristors, in the case of three-phase full converters, the anodes were short circuited and the cathodes were connected to each phase. So when during the negative half cycle of each phase, the cathode of the thyristors in the negative group of thyristors will be more negative compared to anode, so then that thyristor will be in forward blocking mode, because cathode is more negative than anode means anode is more positive than cathode, so that thyristor will be under forward blocking mode. When they are in forward blocking mode, if we trigger, they will be conducting. So during negative half cycle, they will be under forward blocking mode. What about the positive half cycle of phases? When phase A is in positive half cycle, then the cathode of the thyristor in the negative group will get positive voltage, then anode will be lesser compared to cathode, then those thyristors will be in reverse blocking mode. So thyristors in the negative group of thyristors will be conducting or will be eligible to conduct only during negative half cycle of phase ABC. So they are called negative group of thyristors in case of three-phase full converter. Then in three-phase semi-converter, the negative group of thyristors are replaced by simple diodes. Okay. So whenever they get negative cycle of each phase, the diode connected to that phase will conduct. They will not be in forward blocking mode, they will start conducting whenever the voltage corresponding to them is forward. That is, during negative half cycle of phase A, cathode is more negative than anode, so my diode D1 will conduct, because cathode is more negative than anode means anode is more positive than cathode. So my D1 will conduct, not in forward blocking mode, they will conduct, and they do not wait for a triggering pulse as in the case of thyristors. So we have already discussed how to draw three-phase waveforms in the previous session, and how to draw line voltages also in the previous session when we discussed the three-phase full converters. And if ABC is the phase sequence, VAB, VBC, VCA will be the order of voltages. VAB, VBC, VCA. So when we consider phase A first, the thyristor connected to T1, the thyristor connected to phase A is T1. So if we trigger T1, T1 should conduct for 120 degree. Same as in the case of three-phase full converter, each thyristor should conduct for 120 degree. So in previous case also we have discussed, if we want to get VAB across my load V0, VAB, what all are the devices connected to VAB? T1 and D2. Okay, VAB is equal to VA minus VB. During that time, if V0 is equal to VAB, means which all devices should conduct? T1 and D2. Only then VAB will come across my load V0. Okay. Similarly, VAC means VA minus VC. VA minus VC means positive. VA is positive, then T1 will be under forward blocking mode. C is negative. C is negative means cathode of D3 is negative. So D3 will be conducting. D3 starts conducting, T1 will be in forward blocking mode, and if we trigger, T1 will be also conducting. So we have already triggered during VAB. Then during VAC, T1 and D3 will be conducting to obtain VAC across my load V0. Okay. First, let us have a look. Whenever my D1 and D2, D3 will conduct. Let us look the time period during which D1, D2, D3 conducts. And in this waveforms, VAB is taken as the reference. Okay, VAB is the reference voltage that is drawn by black color, and VBC, which is 120 degree lagging when compared to VAB. VBC is drawn after 120 degree. This is 180, 60, 60, 60. So after 120 degree VBC is drawn. Similarly, VCA is the third line voltage that is drawn after 240 degree from VAB. So this is 180 plus 60, 240. From 240 degree VCA is drawn, and when we draw the negative half cycle of each line voltages, for VAB, if we draw the reverse of the VAB, we will get VBA. Similarly, when we draw the reverse voltage of VBC, we will get VCB. Similarly, for VCA, if we draw the reverse voltage, we will get VAC, that is shown by dotted lines. Okay, what is reverse voltage means? Those are the positive voltages when considering for negative group of diodes. Okay, for phase A, phase B, phase C, those are reverse or negative half cycles, and those points were already discussed in three-phase full converter, how to draw the line voltages. Now let us look the voltage corresponding to each omega t from 60 degree, that is pi by 6, to pi by 3. From 60 degree to pi by 3 to 2 pi by 3, that is 60 degree to 120 degree. My VAB is greater when compared to other voltages. So VAB will be appearing across my circuit. During VAB, VA minus VB, VA minus VB. B is negative means D2 will be conducting during VAB. Okay, from pi by 3 to 2 pi by 3. That is a very important point. From 60 degree to 120 degree, my D2 will be conducting. They are not in forward blocking mode. Since they are ideal diodes, they will be conducting whenever B becomes negative. Okay, from 60 to 120 degree, D2 will be conducting. From 120 to 180 degree, what is the voltage? VAC is greater when compared to other voltages. So VAC means VA minus VC. Minus VC means cathode of D3 is negative. So D3 starts conducting. So D3 will be conducting between 120 degree to 180 degree. Similarly, for VBC also, C is negative. So D3 will be conducting. Then next VBA, from 240 to 300 degree, VBA means VB minus VA. VA is negative. VA is negative means cathode of D1 is negative. So D1 will be conducting. From 300 to 360, VCA will be greater. So VCA is greater compared to other voltages means VC minus VA minus VA. Then D1 will get a negative voltage. For cathode of D1, negative voltage is given. So D1 will be conducting from 300 to 360 degree. From 360 degree to 420 degree, VCB is greater when compared to other voltages. So VC minus VB. Minus VB is given. Then means D2, cathode of D2 is getting minus voltage. Then D2 will be conducting. Okay. From this, what we have understood? So here also D2 will be conducting. When diode starts conducting, it conducts continuously for 120 degree. Okay, from 240 to 360 degree, my D1 will be conducting. Similarly, D3 will be conducting from 120 degree to 240 degree. Clear? 120 degree. So D2 will be conducting from 0 to 120 degree. So diodes will be conducting for 120 degree when they start conducting. Hope it is clear for you. Then what has to be conducting? This entire voltage should appear across V0. As I said, for VAB, D2 will be conducting. Okay, for VAB, D2 will be conducting. This VAB should reach across load. In order to reach VAB across V0, T1 should be conducting. Only when T1 is conducting, VAB will be appearing across my V0. Even if T1 is not conducting also, D2 will be in conducting state because B is negative. Okay, then let us have a look on the figure. This is the basic concept. Okay, during negative half cycle, these D1, D2, D3 will be conducting according to the voltage given to them. We no need to trigger the diodes in the negative group. That is the most important point when compared to three-phase full converter. Okay, then let us have a look. For alpha is equal to 0, as I said, VAB is my reference voltage. I have taken the point at which my VAB has become greater when compared to other voltage. So this is the point, that is omega t is equal to 60 degree. At omega t is equal to 60 degree onwards, my VAB is greater compared to other voltage. So for first case, I have assumed alpha is equal to 0. That means at the point at which my VAB is greater when compared to other voltages, I trigger my T1. T1 is triggered at omega t is equal to 60 degree. That is alpha is equal to 0. Alpha is considered as 0 because VAB has just become positive at omega t is equal to 60 degree. At that point I trigger my T1. Then what happens? T1 is triggered during VAB. During VAB, already my D2 is under conducting state. So VAB will appear across the V0. Okay, VAB will be appearing across V0 up to which point? Just have a look. From alpha is equal to 0 onwards to omega t is equal to, that is 60 degree, 120 degree. 60 to 120 degree, my VAB will appear across my V0. What about after 120 degree? After 120 degree, what happens? VAC has become greater than VAB. VAC is greater means VA minus VC. Now VAC is greater when compared to other voltages, means negative voltage is given to D3's cathode. So now D2 is not conducting, D3 is conducting, as I said before. From this point onwards, my D3 is conducting. Okay, D3 is conducting. Already my T1 is triggered. So T1 and D3 is conducting means T1 and D3 is conducting means which voltage is appearing across my V0? VAC. Look, through T1 current flows through RLE and D3 is now conducting, so VAC is appearing across V0. So VAB, VAC. Okay, VAB, and from 120 degree to 180 degree VAC will be appearing across my load. Just be careful, from this 60 degree to 180 degree, which thyristor is conducting? T1. T1 is conducting from 60 to 180 degree. Okay, then at omega t is equal to 180 degree, what happens? My thyristor 1 has already completed 120 degree of conduction. So now we have reached omega t is equal to 180 degree. At that point, which is the voltage greater than others? VBC is greater when compared to other voltages. VBC, VB minus VC. VB means positive B. Positive B is given to T2. So T2 is eligible to conduct from this point onwards, eligible to conduct, and if alpha is equal to 0 means I am triggering the thyristor 2 at this point itself. Okay, here T1 is triggered up to this point, up to 180 degree it is T1 is conducting, and at omega t is equal to 180 degrees, since my alpha is equal to 0, when BC has become greater than other voltages, my T2 is triggered. Okay, my T2 is triggered means VBC will be appearing across my load. VBC will be appearing across my load. VBC will be appearing across my load. During that time, which is the diode conducting? D3. Okay, T2 and D3 will be conducting during this period. Okay, now my D3 has conducted for 120 degree. Whatever it may be, let it be there. Now my VBC has reached the omega t is equal to 240 degree. At that point, what is the greater voltage when compared to other voltages? VBA. Then also VB is positive. VB is positive means T2 itself is in forward blocking mode and it is already triggered, so it is in conducting state. T2 is conducting, and VBA means VB minus VA. Minus VA means cathode of D1 is given to phase voltage, so it is minus means D1 is conducting. So VBA will be appearing across my load voltage V0. So VBA means through T2, through load, through D1 circuit will be conducting to phase A. Okay, so VBA will be appearing across my load. So from omega t is equal to 180 degree to 300 degree, that is total of 120 degree, T2 will be conducting. What will be the voltage appearing across my V0? That will be VBC, and from this point onwards it will be VBA. Hope it is clear for you. From 60 degree to 120 degree it was VAB, 120 to 180 degree it was, it is 60 degree, this is 60 degree. So VAB means 60 to 120 degree VAB, 120 to 180 degree VAC, 120 to 1, then omega t is equal to 180 to 240, it has become VBC, and from 240 degree it has become VBA. Okay, during this period T2 was conducting. So what is the combination? For example, T1, this is we are discussing about alpha is equal to 0 degree. Okay, T1 D2 conducts means VAB will be appearing. T1 D3 is conducting means VAC will appear across my V0. This is the case of alpha is equal to 0 degree. Similarly, you can plot for other voltages also. Just keep in mind, whichever be the highest voltage during a particular omega t, that thyristor and that diode will be under forward state. So during VAB, thyristor T1 is in forward blocking mode generally, and VAB means D2 will be in conducting state. It all about triggering of the thyristor will decide which voltage should appear across my V0. So now let us have a look on alpha is equal to 60 degree. Be careful, just look into the figure itself. Alpha is equal to 60 degree means we know that alpha is equal to 0 was at omega t is equal to 60 degree. At omega t is equal to 60 degree, alpha was 0 degree. So alpha is equal to 60 degree means what is omega t? Omega t will be 120 degree. 60 plus 60, 120 degree. This is alpha is equal to 0. This is alpha is equal to 60 degree. From alpha is equal to 60 degree onwards, which thyristor I have to trigger first? T1. So keep that in mind. First I will be triggering T1 only. So T1 is triggered at alpha is equal to 60 degree means at omega t is equal to 120 degree, T1 is triggered. Okay, T1 is triggered. Then what will be the voltage that appear across V0? T1 is triggered. So from this point onwards, at omega t is equal to 120 degree onwards, which is the diode conducting, at any cost D3 will be conducting, because VAC is will be the highest voltage. So VA minus VC means D3 will be conducting. So write D3 here. Then look, if D3 is conducting and it is VAC, positive A is connected to which thyristor we have to look? Thyristor T1. So now T1 is triggered and VAC is the voltage at omega t is equal to 120 degree means what will be the voltage that is appearing across my V0? That will be VAC, and it is not VAB. Just have a clear idea on that. At omega t is equal to 120 degree onwards, VAC will be greater when compared to other voltage. So VAC means D3 will be conducting. Already D3 is under conducting state, and it is VA positive means T1 is forward blocking mode and it is triggered at alpha is equal to 60 degree. So at 120 degree, T1 is conducting means T1 and D3 is the combination. So VAC will appear across V0. So from this point onwards, from omega t is equal to 120 degree onwards, my T1 starts conducting. At this point, I will get VAC. Okay, at omega t is equal to 120 to 180 degree, I will get VAC. From 180 degree onwards, what happens? That's a very important point to be noted. From 180 degree onwards, what will be the case of T1? When I trigger T1, it continuously conduct for 120 degree. So T1 will be conducting during this time also. During this time also means this time VBC is the highest voltage, VB is the positive voltage appearing across T2, but T1 is the conducting thyristor during this state. So what will be the voltage appearing that time? Voltage VAC. AC will be appearing across my V0, because during this time also D3 is conducting and T1 will be conducting up to 120 degree. So from 180 degree to 240 also, which thyristor and which diode will be conducting? Thyristor 1 and diode D3 will be conducting. So VAC will be appearing across my V0. So up to 120 degree from 240 degree up to, from 120 degree to 240 degree, VAC will appear across my V0. VAC will appear across my V0. Okay. Hope it is clear for you. Up to this point, T1 is conducting. As I said, D3 is also conducting during VAC, and so T1 D3 is the combination. They conduct for 120 degree. At omega t is equal to 240 degree, at omega t is equal to 240 degree, what happens? At omega t is equal to 240 degree, my T1 has already completed 120 degree, so I should go for next thyristor. Then when I look into the figure itself, I can understand that VBA is the highest voltage that is appearing there when compared to other voltages at omega t is equal to 240 degree. At omega t is equal to 240 degree, VBA is the highest voltage when compared to others. So what happens? VB minus VA. So T2 is under forward blocking mode, and at that point I have triggered. So I triggered means T2 is triggered. Since it is VB minus VA, then D1 will be under conduction state. D1 will be under conduction state, as I have already mentioned here. D1 is conducting from 240 to 360 degree. From 240 to 300 degree, my T2 also is conducting. So what is the voltage that is appearing across my V0? That will be VBA. Okay, VBA. Up to which point? Up to 300 it is VBA. Then I again look into the waveforms. Then VCA will be the highest voltage when compared to others. But my thyristor T2 has just completed only 60 degree. So it need to complete 120 degree. So my thyristor T2 will not be in off state, it is already in on state. So VBA itself will be appearing across my V0, because VBA means already I have said D1 will be in conducting state, and T2 is also now in conducting state, means T2 D1 combination VBA. Okay, T2 D1 is in conduction. So VBA will be the voltage appearing across my V0. So VBA, what is the waveform of VBA? From 240 to 360 degree, VBA is this one. So VBA is plotted. Hope it is clear for you. This is VBA. This is VAC. Similarly, this is for T1 D1 combination. Okay, at 2 pi, again when I look, VCB is the highest voltage. My T1 and T2 has already completed 120 degree conduction. So my T3 has to be in conducting state, because VCB is appearing there. VC means VC minus VB. T3 is getting positive. Anode of T3 is getting positive, means T3 is in forward blocking mode, and it is triggered means at 2 pi my voltage across my V0 will be VCB, because during VCB D2 will be already in conducting state, because VCB means B is negative and is connected to cathode of the D2. So D2 is already conducting, and now T3 is also triggered. So VCB will be appearing across my V0 up to from 360 degree to 420 degree, my VCB will be appearing across V0. From 420 degree, what will be the case? VAB is greater when compared to others, but my T3 has conducted only 60 degree and it needs to complete 120 degree, so it will be conducting up to 120 degree. So T3 is conducting up to 120 degree means which is the combination pair? D2. So T3 D2 will be conducting from 360 degree to 480 degree. Hope it is clear for you. And similarly you can draw the waveform for other voltages also. Okay, I think it is clear for you how to find the combination of devices which are conducting and how to understand what will be the highest voltage appearing there, how to understand which thyristor or which diode has to be conducted is now clear for you. Before discussing the case of firing angle alpha is equal to 90 degree, I have left a very important point. All these analyses were done with an assumption that the load current I0 is continuous and ripple free. Continuous and ripple free means it will always have a constant value, and it is an assumption. It is continuous and ripple free. I0 is always a constant value. Okay, with this assumption we analyze this entire circuit. According to K2 syllabus, we analyze 3-phase full converter as well as 3-phase semi converter with an assumption that the load current I0 is continuous and ripple free. So now let us analyze alpha is equal to 90 degree case, that is firing angle alpha is equal to 90 degree, then omega t is equal to 60 plus 90, 150 degrees. So I trigger my thyristor 1 at omega t is equal to 150 degree. So let us have a look on the waveform of Vs, that is supply voltage. At 150 degree, which is the highest voltage? VAC. The important point to be kept in mind is that when we are going to trigger a thyristor, just we are going to trigger that one, the voltage across that thyristor should be the largest when compared to other voltages. When it starts conducting, even if the other voltages come and go, it is not a problem, it will continuously conduct for 120 degree. So here at 150 degree, VAC is the voltage and VAC means VA minus VC. At that time we already know that since minus VC means D3 is conducting, and now I have triggered my thyristor 1. So VAC will come across my load, V0 will be equal to VAC. At which point onwards? From omega t is equal to 150 onwards. Omega t is equal to 150 onwards, my voltage is VAC. Be careful here. From this point onwards, my T1 is conducting and it reaches this point. VBC has become larger than VAC, but VBC means VB minus VC. At that time, positive voltage across T2, that is the highest voltage when compared to other voltages, but T1 is already in conducting state and hasn't completed its 120 degree. So the VAC will be continuing across my V0, and from this point 150 degree to 120 means what? 270 degree. 150 plus 120 means 270 degree. From here you can understand that this is 150 and this is 240. Between 240 and 300 it is 270 degree. Okay, from 150 to 270 degree my T1 will be conducting. Okay, T1 is conducting from 150 degree to 270 degree. Just see, from 150 to 240 degree D3 was conducting. Okay, then VAC will be appearing across my V0. VAC will be appearing across my V0 till 240 degree. Till 240 degree VAC will appear across my V0 because T1 and D3 were conducting. But what happens after 240? My D3 gets turned off and D1 starts conducting. D1 starts conducting. T1 is already in on state. D1 starts conducting means it acts as short circuit and no voltage will be appearing across V0 and reverse voltage starts beginning to V0. How? VAC after 240 degree my VAC has started becoming negative. VAC starts become negative, but due to the presence of freewheeling diode, V0 will never become negative and I0 will freewheel within this circuit, because when V0 starts negative means freewheeling diode gets turned on because its anode become positive and cathode become negative. Then freewheeling diode starts conducting. Then I0 will be flowing through RLE and a freewheeling diode. Then freewheeling diode conducting means this is short circuit and voltage across my RLE is 0. Okay. From which point to which point? From 240 to next triggering point. That means from 150 my T1 was triggered. Then up to 240 it was conducting, but after 240 what happens? Reverse voltage starts appearing across V0 and a freewheeling diode come into play, and from then on up to 270 my voltage is 0. And what was the voltage from 150 to 240 degree? From 150 onwards my voltage has become VAC. Up from 150 to 240 my voltage is VAC, output voltage is VAC. Okay, then at 270 my T1 gets turned off and my T2 gets triggered. Okay, T2 gets triggered means at 270, just have a look, what is the voltage at that time? VBA. Okay, VBA means B is positive and A is negative. Then A is negative means D1 is conducting and T2 is now triggered. So what are the combination? T2 D1. From this point onwards VBA will come across my V0. VBA will come across my V0. Hope it is clear for you. At 270 degree my voltage is VBA, that will come across my V0 because T2 is now triggered and D1 is already starts conducting when VBA has become higher on. So now the combination is T2 D1. So VBA will be appearing across my V0 up to this point. Then at 300 again when we look into this point, voltage has become VCA, but my T2 is already in conduction state and it hasn't completed 120 degrees. So T2 will continue in conduction mode, and during this time D1 will be conducting. So what will be the voltage across V0 from 300 to 360 degree? Which all devices are conducting? T2 and D1. So VBA after 360 degree, VBA will move on to negative side, then V0 will have a tendency to become negative. As I have already explained, when V0 will have a tendency to move on to negative side, certainly freewheeling diode conducts, because V0 is getting negative means here it is positive and here it is negative. Freewheeling diode's anode will get positive and cathode will get negative. Then freewheeling diode will conduct. Then what happens? I naught will flow through RLE through freewheeling diode, and freewheeling diode is in on state means it is acting as a short circuit, so V naught will be 0. Why? It is acting as short circuit means voltage across freewheeling diode will be 0 and V naught will be equal to 0. So from 360 degree onwards my output voltage will be 0 until 390 degree, because from 270 onwards my T2 is in on state and 120 degree it will conduct. From 270 to 390 T2 will be conducting, and at 390 degree T3 will be triggered. T3 will be triggered at 390 degree. Okay, T3 is triggered. At that time, what is the voltage? VCB. VCB is the voltage, and VCB means VC minus VB. Yes, T3 is getting positive and D2 is getting negative. D2's cathode is getting negative, so D2 will be conducting. So T3 and D2 will be conducting during 390 degree onwards. 390 degree onwards VCB will be conducting up to 490 degree. When it reaches 490 degree, VAB has become greater than VCB, but T3 has just started the conduction. It will continue up to 120 degree. So from 390, 120 degree will be conducting by T3. 390 plus 120 is 510 degree. Up to 510 degree T3 has to conduct. So VCB will be appearing across V naught till 480 degree. After 480 degree, what happens? My VCB will become negative, that is my V naught will have a tendency to become negative. Suddenly when V naught becomes negative, freewheeling diode conducts, and as explained earlier, V naught will be 0. From which point? From 480 to 510, V naught will be 0. Again, as explained earlier. Similarly, we can draw the waveform for other voltage. Now let us consider the case when firing angle alpha is equal to 120 degree. Alpha equals 120 degree means omega t is equal to 120 degree plus 60, because at omega t is equal to 60 degree alpha was 0 degree. Now alpha 120 degree means omega t is equal to 180 degree. At omega t equals 180 degree, I am going to trigger T1. We already know that at omega t is equal to 180 degree, D3 is in conducting state. So when I trigger my thyristor 1 at omega t is equal to 180 degree, what is the combination of devices? T1 and D3 will be conducting. T1 and D3 will be conducting from omega t is equal to 180 degree onwards. T1 and D3 is conducting means current I naught will be flowing through T1 RLE through D3, it completes the circuit. So VAC will appear across my load. V naught will be equal to VAC from 180 degree onwards. From 180 degree onwards, it take the path of VAC. Up to which point? Up to 240 degree, it takes the path of VAC. After 240 degree, what happens? My T1 will be continuing in conducting state itself, but VAC has become negative. VAC becomes negative means what will be the case? The same as the previous one. When V naught is equal to VAC, and if it is becoming negative, my freewheeling diode starts conducting, then I naught will freewheel through RLE through freewheeling diode, and freewheeling diode is conducting means voltage across freewheeling diode is 0, so V naught will be equal to 0. From which point onwards? From 240 onwards. So at this point my V naught will become equal to VAC, and VAC becomes 0 at 240 degree. From 240 degree onwards up to 300, my V naught will be 0. Why? T1 is triggered at 180 degree and it should conduct up to 120 degree. So 180 plus 120 degree means 300 degree. Up to 300 degree my T1 should conduct. Then when I looked into this figure, I understood that my V0 will take the path of VAC and VAC will become negative after 240 degree. So due to freewheeling diode action, from 240 onwards, V0 will be 0 until the next thyristor is triggered. Next thyristor is triggered at which angle? At 300 degree. At 300 degree, T2 is triggered. At 300 degree, T2 is triggered, which is the diode that was conducting during 300 degree, that is D1. So T2 D1 combination, T2 D1 combination, then which is the voltage appearing across my V0? T2 BA. VBA will be the voltage that appear across my load, that is V0 will be equal to VBA. At 300 degree, V0 will take the path of VBA. Hope it is clear for you. Up to which point? Up to 360 degree. Up to 360 degree, V0 will take the path of VBA. Actually, my T2 should conduct from 300 degree to 360 plus 60, 420 degree. Up to 420, my T2 should be conducting. But at 360 degree, the same as before, my VBA will become negative after 360 degree. So due to freewheeling diode action, V0 will become 0 from 360 degree to 420 degree. Again at 420 degree, T3 is triggered at 420 degree. If T3 is triggered at 420 degree, at 420 degree already D2 is conducting state. D2 T3 combination, then which is the voltage? T3 means C, D2 means B. So VCB is the voltage that appear across my V0 at 420 degree onwards. At 420 degree onwards, V0 will take the path of VCB up to 480 degree. Up to 480 degree, it takes the path of V0. V0 will take the path of VCB. Okay. After 480 degree, VCB will become negative. When VCB is going to become negative, V0 will have a tendency to become negative because V0 is equal to VCB. But when V0 becomes negative, freewheeling diode starts conducting. As I explained before, due to freewheeling diode action, V0 will become 0 from 480 degree to 540 degree, because from 420 degree onwards T3 is conducting. For 120 degree conduction, T3 will be conducting from 420 to 540 degree. So from 480 degree to 540 degree, V0 will be 0 due to freewheeling diode action. And the most important thing is that it was the assumption that I0 is continuous and ripple free. If I0 was discontinuous, then definitely there will be point at which I0 becomes 0. Whenever I0 becomes 0, what happens is that the points at which V0 is equal to 0 will have a value equal to E, because when I0 is equal to 0 means drop across R will be 0, drop across inductor will be 0. So V0 will be equal to E. So whenever V0 becomes 0, we will have a voltage E across my load. So V0 will be equal to E if I0 is discontinuous. So there will be points at which I0 becomes 0 for discontinuous current for, but according to K2 syllabus, we will have to discuss only the case at which continuous and ripple free conduction is present. So I0 will be constant throughout the period. So with that assumption, we have analyzed all the waveforms. So for any firing angle alpha, V0 can be drawn. Hope it is clear for you. For any further clarification or any doubt, please ask through the comment box or directly contact me. Thank you.